what is it with you and your party putting forward this sort of gender-neutral, children can go to school, boys can go to school wearing skirts? And why do you think that that's acceptable? I mean, we live in a free society right now, but what is going on with this? Do you think that it's right that you're allowing this to go through?
What's the philosophy behind it, Jo Swinson?
Well, it's really about giving kids choice. And what it came out of is we had a young member of the Lib Dems who came along to our conference. She, I think, was 14 at the time. And she made the very good point that she was frustrated at school being told that she had to wear a skirt when she wanted to run about and play football and do handstands and, all of those things that I think we'd all want, kids to be able to have the freedom to do and not feel that they're constrained. And, why should we be saying to girls at school or indeed to boys, you have to wear this particular
So you'd allow your sons
outfit
to wear a dress, should they so desire?
If they wanted to, yeah. And I mean, my 5-year-old's got silver sparkly shoes. I think I might have technically bought them in the girls section, but he really wanted the silver sparkly shoes. So, he's got silver trainers. The sky is still there.
Karen, it's about
that
being...
is absolutely completely different. You can't... So you're going to say, right, so a child of, say, 5, a little boy, will say to his mum that I want to go to school wearing a skirt, and you don't think that this is going to increase bullying in schools, because you're saying it was one girl. This is not a majority. This is a minority. There is not a high percentage of children, boys, going to school wanting to wear skirts. And then the gender-neutral passports. Wait a minute, I identify as an alien. When is this going to stop? What are you doing to our kids?
Do you support gender-neutral passports?
Yes,
I don't.
No, sorry, I'm so sorry. Karen, I think I know where you are, Karen.
Yeah, I do.
Why?
But just on just to respond to Karen's point there about what should 5-year-olds be allowed to do. I mean, we're not sort of forcing anybody. We're just saying that schools ought to have a policy that doesn't require boys and girls to be sort of separate, that they can choose. And do you know what? There's lots of girls who do want to wear trousers. In fact, in many schools, girls can wear trousers.
You don't think a little boy wearing a dress age 5 might be open to bullying?
Well, I think it's important that schools have policies in place to prevent and to deal with bullying.
Right.
And seriously, I mean, I've seen some young boys that that have worn skirts and so on. I mean, seriously, are we saying that if they want to do that, we should be policing them in some way?
Let's come back to passports. Do you not see the issue of national security if we don't have someone's gender on a passport? If you're seeking...
No, I'm afraid I genuinely don't.
Right, so let's say that we're trying to stop someone getting into or out of the country, and they are 5'9" with blonde hair and blue eyes. Can't we have their gender too?
Well, I think it gives people the opportunity to state their gender. So it's not say you don't have gender listed. It just gives the option of saying male, female, or
what do we say at Dover Docks or Gatwick or Heathrow? We're looking for a person. We can't say a man or a woman who might be seeking to enter the country 5'9" with blonde hair and blue eyes.
I mean, seriously, this is about how people identify.
This is about security.
No, it's really not. I'm sorry. It's really not.
You don't see at Dover Docks or Gatwick Airport. It would be quite nice to know someone's gender. Quite appropriate to know someone's agenda.
I mean, seriously. I mean, how do you know somebody's gender? I mean, you're
trying to
suggesting.
Stop someone, I'm going to say it's a male, 5'9" with blue hair and with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, and how are you going to check that, right? I mean, if
because then the staff know what they're looking for.
But I mean, on that basis, right? What happens? You're saying people could dress up to look like something different. I mean, I think if people are trying to enter the country illegally, they may well be deploying different ways of doing that. I don't think
under the Lib Dems,
letter on their passport on the gender thing is really going to be...
we have passports with X on it, and one of our citizens goes to Saudi Arabia or the Republic or China, where they're immediately imprisoned because they're X and they don't allow X into the country. What do we do then?
This is not about forcing people into any
but somebody wants to be
specific
X.
choice. Well, if they want to be, then they can choose that.
But what happens when they go to Saudi Arabia and Saudi Arabia doesn't recognise X? What do we do with them then?
Well, they can make that decision for themselves, Nick. But
they find themselves in Riyadh and they're British citizens and they've just been detained because they don't know whether they're man or woman.
So if somebody is in difficulty in a foreign country and they're a British citizen, then we should be giving them the kind of consular assistance. I think the idea... there is already...
When they leave Gatwick, if they need a body check, who does it if it's an X?
Well,
if we fear they're carrying drugs on their person, who searches X?
Well, I think it would make sense for them to their wishes to be respected, right? I mean,
Hang on, so I'm a man and I could say I'd like to be searched by a woman or vice versa? As an ex?
Hang on. If look, there are people in this country.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
There are people in this country who do not define as male or female, right?
I get that.
And if somebody has a preference, just like
someone has a preference. So it's a preference.
No, if someone has a preference for who is
I'd
searching
like a
them,
woman to search
for
me
who
this
is
afternoon,
searching
but I'll have
them,
a man tomorrow.
who is searching them, then I don't see any legitimate reason why that should be denied, in the exact same way that if I go for a medical appointment, then if I'm going for a smear test or whatever, then I might make a request that I'd rather have that done by a woman. I might it's I just don't. I think there's a sort of hang-up that people have about this. Some people don't identify as male or female. It's not a massive deal. Get over it. It's not stopping anyone else getting on with their lives. And can we just be respectful to one another and treat people as the individuals that they are, recognising that this group of people in our society already feels very vulnerable and marginalised, already feels discriminated against, gets bullied, and can be victims of violence. Let's do these small things that can show that we are taking people seriously as the individuals that they are.